Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Back, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the mayor of this episode, Andrew. With me, the one who puts the bug in Bugsnax, Keith.
Hello.
And our master of snacks, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week, we played Bugsnax by Young Horses. Bugsnax is a first-person adventure game where you play a journalist who receives a mysterious film from the disgraced explorer, Lizbert Megafig. She invites you to the mysterious Snacktooth Island for you to witness her latest discovery. But, of course, she's not there, and everything seems to be in shambles, so it's up to you get upon yourself to solve this mystery behind the Bugsnax. Going around, Liz, was this a game or pass for you?
It was a game for me. I think the last couple hours, because I put like way too much time into this game, I kind of got sick of it. I wish that I didn't do it all in 1 week. Because like towards the end, I would have gotten way more achievements and I would have gotten a different ending if I just done like a little bit more. Like I was so close to finishing the side quests and I just was just done. But overall, I did like it. I love the characters. I thought it was fun. It was just like, I was just slow at the game. I think that was part of the problem too. So it lasted longer.
So I think...
How's that going for you?
It's not easy. Trust me. It's been a while, but I think this actually ends up being a pass for me.
Wow.
There's a lot of good things about it, and I didn't even really enjoy my time. I did enjoy my time playing with it as a whole, but when I look back on it, I don't know what I liked about it. And we'll talk more about it, but I think it actually ended up being kind of a boring game. It was relaxing and it was simple, and I like that. But ultimately, I don't think I really cared much for it. I think it's a pass.
For me, like what tipped me over into game was Philbo.
Philbo's the one who did it for you? Not Chandlo?
And Chandlo. Those were my two. Chandlo and Philbo were my favorite.
So this is a game for me. I do agree, Keith. I understand where you're coming from. It is very simple, relaxing. To me, the first vibes I got from this game was both a little bit Pokemon and then a little bit of Pokemon Snap, because you're kind of in these certain areas where you have these certain Bugsnax. Some of them you got to kind of manipulate in order for them to come out or to maybe change, like because you got some big snacks that you have to break apart to get the smaller ones. So it kind of gave me a little bit of those vibes. I found the story kind of interesting, but I thought some of the relationship stuff kind of got a little annoying. And then I felt like there was too much that really wasn't quite explained. I felt like they were trying to explain things to me, but didn't really come up with any answers. So I was just kind of like, okay, so I don't really still really get what's going on. But overall, though, it was good. I think I would have really enjoyed this if there was more of a city building aspect to it. Yeah. I thought I was going to do more to improve the actual town of Snacksburg. And you don't. You just kind of bring people in and, like, I don't know. It didn't really change too much. So I felt like if I had more customization, besides just customizing my hut, I would have had more fun with it. But overall, though, it is a game. It's simple. It's relaxing. The creatures are adorable. So I was really curious how you would have liked this game, Liz, because this game literally includes things you absolutely hate and things you absolutely love. Both bugs and snacks.
I will say, I've been trying to get my daughter to like bugs and spiders and all that because they freak me out, and it actually has
freak out is an understatement.
It has changed kind of like my view on bugs. Like I'm starting to find some of them cute, so I mean there is that. But wait, what was the other thing?
And snacks.
Snacks.
How do you forget the snacks, Liz?
But for me, like what I find really interesting is so that one of the characters, and I'm going to forget all their names except for my two favorites, he doesn't want anybody to eat the Bugsnax. They're his pets. They're his friends. And so for me...
Gilbert? Was it?
No.
Grimble.
Not Gilbert.
Grimble.
Yeah.
Gramble. Yeah.
Gramble? Yeah.
Gramble.
Sure.
They're all very whimsical names, so it's not easy to remember them.
So he's kind of like, like a vegetarian in a way, I guess. And so it is really interesting where you're like feeding people these things. And when you're playing the game, you don't really know if it's like the right thing. Because some of them are adorable and they actually can speak. They say their names, sometimes very annoyingly and sometimes very cutely.
Yeah.
I got that vibe pretty early too, that there's kind of a mystery to it. And That's one thing that first did draw me to Bugsnax. I thought the story was kind of interesting because it was like, oh, I feel like there's a bigger, deeper, darker secret. And overall there is. I don't know. I was expecting a little more on some story elements that they were doing.
So it's funny because you know me. The story was, I think, about the only thing that I cared about in this game.
Wow.
I know. And when I say cared, I feel like I want to use that term loosely because I was not invested and I really still didn't care. At the end of the day, I only wanted to save everyone because I wanted the achievement to save everyone. I didn't care otherwise. However, it was the thing that, I don't know, at least made the game feel like it built on something. There are tiny little element changes throughout it. There are some difficulty spikes, but I actually really like your description of Pokemon Snap as far as the comparison, because it felt like, yeah, I was just almost on rails, except not obviously because I could go where I wanted, but I might as well have been.
The way the game played. Arenas were designed, yeah.
Yeah, it really didn't matter that I had the free roam capability. If anything, it kind of made it a little more frustrating at sometimes. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was actually just really more interested in trying to find out what the storylines were, what the relationships were, and ultimately, yeah, the mystery of the Bugsnax, because they made it seem pretty early on that everything's weren't okay with the Bugsnax.
So you wouldn't have been upset if Chandlo or Filbo, died? I mean, I could see like some of them, like Beffica was a little annoying. I still feel bad for her, but I feel like the characters were like a little bit extreme. They were like the highest version of like what they were, like the super jock,
Yeah, they were very strong caricatures of...
That's the word, caricatures, yeah.
Of like certain types of people.
And yeah, I agree, but no, as a whole... I didn't really care, and honestly, even their relationships were all kind of annoying. Because I think Andrew said it, like it was, they explain it and they don't, and I think I know who everyone was at the end of it, but also, again, I didn't care. I really was so like,
I mean, I found their relationships interesting because, like, of course, the husband and wife, like, I understood their struggle. But then it's like there are some that, like, the scientist that is experimenting on people. You have Beffica, who's, like, just getting everyone's, like, secrets and, just being really obnoxious. And so there were a lot of dynamics that I kind of like. Because without that, I felt like it would have been very boring. Where it's like you're kind of, like, doing tasks. Like, some of the tasks I was like, I do not want to do, like, stealing from somebody's hut. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't think I should be doing it. And then also, I thought it was interesting that your character is allergic to the Bugsnax.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't eat them. But, so for me, I just thought that was interesting because of what... It's hard because there's this, like, big thing, like, twist at the end that it's like I want to talk about, but we can't talk about. So, yeah, I found that interesting.
So, I mean, as I said at the beginning, yeah, I found some of the relationship stuff kind of annoying. Because also, too, what kind of confused me about this game is I couldn't quite figure out who this game's age demographic is kind of aimed towards. Because, like, the game's not too difficult. It's very cutesy. The creatures straight up look like they're from Sesame Street. But there is, like, a lot of sexual innuendos. There's a lot of dark elements that this game kind of goes to. And so I'm like, I don't know if... Like, granted, a kid probably won't pick up on a lot of some of the stuff. But I don't know. Well, some of the dark moments, I mean, one guy is like literally seconds away from cutting his head off. That is like a side quest. And so like there's some moments where I'm like, this seems a little dark.
Well, same with like the relationship issues with, between the husband and wife and stuff. Like, I feel like that wouldn't be in like a kid's game.
Yeah.
Or same with like, there was that relationship between Chandlo and what's his face. And he like thought that he was in a relationship for the past couple of years, and the other guy didn't think they were in a relationship. He just thought that they were friends with benefits. Yeah. And I was just like, so for me, like,
which was a phrase too. Where I'm like, she's friends with benefits.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that isn't.
No, it was roommates with benefits.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know what kids know nowadays.
I know.
It's like, I mean, what is the age that kids know? It's younger than when I was.
To me, it just caught me off guard because, like I said, all the characters in this game look like they're straight up from Sesame Street, and so like they even have goofy, cutesy names. But yeah, then they go through like, stealing stuff. You have Bevica, who's literally only wants to find out dirt about people and like basically bully them with their dirt. It's like, I don't know. Some of the moments are kind of weird.
No, you know what I actually, speaking of what they look like, and I'm getting ahead. I don't know. We're a little jumbled right now. On the little load screens, they look like the little snoods.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's a classic game.
Yeah, not in like their actual characters, but just the little headshots.
It's like a profile picture, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's the snoods. I wanted a snood mini game in there.
I also, what you were saying earlier, Andrew, about your hut that you can kind of personalize. It stinks that it's like so small because you're getting all these things that are like sentimental to
you get a
other
second
characters. Floor. Oh, you do?
Yeah, if you do enough missions, eventually it gets upgraded to a second floor.
Oh.
But it's still pretty small.
Is that like right towards the end of the game?
You have to do a certain amount of requests. I think like 60. So there's like 97 total mail requests that you get.
The mail requests.
Yeah.
So I was almost on with the side quests, not the mail.
No, it's the mail ones.
But still, like I felt like I wish there was more customization.
Oh yeah.
Especially because, like, for instance, you have one flower bed and you're getting gifts from these people. Some of the gifts, like you're getting rugs, and I was kind of sentimental about some of them, and I felt bad someone would give me a gift and I'd be like, who do I display? You know?
I mean, you never really hang out inside your house, so that's why I felt like it was kind of a pointless feature to be upgrading and decorating your house when it's just like I spend literally maybe a total of 5 minutes in this house out of like the 16 hours of gameplay I've played.
Yeah, I would go in and I would like look at the stuff I got, but I wasn't like overly concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a small part of the gameplay. The overall part of the gameplay is, you're obviously going around trying to capture these Bugsnax, which there's a total of 100 of them. So there's not a crazy amount of them. You have these designated areas that you load into, and you have a kind of a Wikipedia of what's in the area, what kind of Bugsnax you can find. Some only come at night, some come during the day, some come during the rain. So you have these different ways and elements in order to find these Bugsnax, but you're essentially capturing these Bugsnax and feeding them to the people and solving their problems as you do in video games.
Which I feel like at the beginning when we started getting to like the trickier Bugsnax, like there were some that I was like, why can I not get this? And then I just didn't have the actual tool, like Trip Shot?
Yeah.
That was one that you need for a lot of them. But I ended up doing Wiki a lot because I got kind of lazy with it. Like towards the end, like I was just like, just tell me how to get this.
I looked up nothing. I found this game to be pretty easy.
I mean, I think it is, but I did get like towards the end where I was just like, I just want this to be over. I started looking them up because there are some where it's just like, oh, they like chocolate. You need chocolate to make it easy.
I honestly very rarely use the condiments.
Oh, I use them a lot. You put them on the ball and like so. And
yeah, there's some moments where you have to use it like that, but honestly, majority of the Bugsnax you can catch just not using condiments.
Yeah, I mean, largely, I feel like I only mostly used them. I mean, I wouldn't say always, but mostly only used them when it was like a required. You had to catch the Bugsnax. But yeah, I'm with you, Liz. It was, I think, probably like the last 10 unique ones or so that I captured. That I was like, I'm gonna quickly just look this up. It was like 1 or 2 in each area, so I would just pull up the wiki for the area and be like, okay, that's where it is. I'm just gonna go catch it. I was like just about to finish the last mission, and then I just wanted to catch them all. I think there's actually more than 100, but I think it's like 110 or something like that. Which on a very small complaint.
There's an achievement. No, because there's an achievement for 100 called like gotta catch them all.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing that bothers me about it is I got that achievement without catching them all, and I didn't do the math, but I'm fairly certain there's more than 100. And I think it's because I don't know. We can talk about it because I don't want to get too far into achievements, but yeah, I think there's actually more than 100.
So overall, like I said, the gameplay is just catching these Bugsnax, and of course they're very adorable, and they say their names just like Pokemon. Liz, how bad did you feel?
Something.
Which one? Oh, the Scoopy Banoopy?
Yeah.
Here's my favorite.
Scoopy. He was really cute. Oh, sorry, what were you going to ask?
Scoopy. Yeah. Scoopy Banoopy. And him and Bunger. Bunger was the other one I loved. What?
What were you going to ask?
Oh.
I interrupted you.
Did you feel bad having to kill these creatures at all?
Yeah, I did. I really felt bad because, I mean, as like Rambo was finding out, like most of them, except for like the strawberry ones, didn't want to be captured. And so I did kind of feel bad.
I mean,
The one you felt the worst for is Mama Melon.
Yes, all her little babies, and then you have to like destroy her. It actually really did bother me. But I will say, in real life, I feel bad eating meat. Like I constantly I'm like, I'm gonna go vegetarian, and then like my body's like, Liz, I'm gonna make you suffer for this. So for me, so maybe that's why though, because in real life I feel guilty.
she's just making up for past episodes. Don't let this act fool you.
I actually am curious about this world and its food, though. Because, like, do they have... So, like, you're eating, like, a burger. The bunger, you know? He's a walking burger. Do they have hamburgers in the real world? Like, in the mainland? Because it's weird, because no one ever says about it. We're like, oh, this guy looks like a burger. No one ever references saying that the creatures look like a real food in their world. But it's also weird. If I saw a walking burger and I knew what a burger was, I'd be like, heck no, I'm not eating that thing. That thing is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if they do have burgers, does that mean they also have cows? Is there actually living animals? Because you don't see any animals in this world.
But where do the mummies come in now? Because now you've got me wondering.
I mean, you do kind of go to a temple and see a sarcophagus.
That is true.
It's full of exploding burritos, but not mummies.
Wait, what mummy are you talking about?
When you have to summon the Pizza Supreme, you have to crack open a sarcophagus, and it's full of the bean burritos.
Oh yeah,
That is true. That is very true. Yeah,
I
no, I
it was
didn't
a
really.
random thought I had.
No, I didn't really think much in terms of the food. Yeah, like I wouldn't eat a walking burger, but like at some point, someone was like, "Hey, I wonder if I just like, I don't know, throw some fire on that cow leg. It might taste pretty good." So is that like kind of what they're doing with Bugsnax? It just so happens to already be shaped like a food.
Well, the reason I also kind of bring this up too, did you notice in like the Bugsnaxpedia, it would have a calorie count for these creatures?
No.
And they were always like 80,000 calories. And you
Yes.
were just shoving like 5 or 6 of these in your villagers' mouths. And it's like, well, if there was real burgers on the mainland, those, obviously only a couple hundred calories, like how much food do these people actually eat in the real world?
I mean, we don't know how big the grumps are.
I guess it's true.
Maybe
No,
they're
you
like
see
10 feet tall.
skeletons. You see
Maybe
their
they're like 10 feet tall. That doesn't tell you anything. You don't know what they are.
Okay, scaling this world. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, for all you know, those things could be like 10, 12 feet tall.
Dang, I didn't think about that.
I'm going to Google it.
There's also, I think Philbo, he ate some kind of like greenery or something. He ate something and then
he ate a random plant and it made him sick.
And it made him sick and blind. And then he was so hungry that he just laid there and just like hoped someone would come and help him. Which I do like. At one part of the game, it actually has you start from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, when you like fall over that like cliff thing. Yeah, I thought that was actually really cool. And there was another quest I really liked where they said, oh, it's really dangerous out there. Make sure you don't get knocked off of a cliff. And then your mission was to get knocked over a cliff. And you got rewards for it.
But I like, Liz, you kept bringing it up of like people constantly are asking you to get them a specific Bugsnax. And you're just constantly going, what the heck did everyone do before I got here?
I know, they're so lazy. Like the strawberry ones, the Strabbies,
Yeah.
whatever it is. There are some that are not aggressive. There are some that are vicious and they're on fire. Like I was lit on fire so many times. But otherwise, they're like giving me all the tools because they're too lazy to do it themselves. And then they just like bicker in town. And it's just like, you know what? Maybe you need some chores to do so you don't bicker so much, you know?
It is true. Like literally there's one guy who's a farmer. You have one who's an archaeologist, but it's like she could easily get snacks. You have one guy who just creates inventions to catch snacks, but apparently no one uses these inventions because no one else catches snacks in this town. Beffica literally, I don't understand her presence there. She literally just stirs up dirt.
Singer. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Wiggle.
They
She's
make
another
you
one.
listen to her like full song sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to you need to fix that.
Her constant talking too, just...
Yeah, because if you read fast in the dialogue, you can skip ahead. But there are certain scenes where you have to listen to her. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like the voice actor is untalented or anything. The character for me was just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for that. It wasn't actually a terrible song though. Sometimes games have their own songs in there, and you go, yeah. Remember, this one wasn't all that bad.
No, it has its own song right at the
okay.
end of the credits, and I actually thought it was kind of a nice jam.
I just didn't like her songs.
Well, it was hers in particular that I was talking about. I don't know if I remember the one at the end of the credits. Probably heard it, but I don't remember
But
it.
Keith and I do have very different tastes in music, I feel like, with video games.
Yeah, that's true too. But so even though majority of the gameplay, as I said, you get the tools really early in this game, so I felt like you can catch like 90% of the snacks within like the first hour of gameplay in this game. So to me, that's why I didn't find it very challenging. But I will say they at least kind of mix it up by having some legendary Bugsnax, as we mentioned with Mama Melon. But then you have the Pizza Supreme, the Mega Maki, and then the birthday cake. So you have these like the kind of mini boss fights. Did you guys enjoy those fights at all?
I did.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the few things that actually shook up the gameplay, and I wasn't just doing the same thing over and over again and just standing there watching and waiting for something to walk by or whatever it may be. So, yeah, I really did. I hated the Maki, or Mahi, whatever it was.
Yeah. That one's kinda annoying.
Maki.
I didn't have enough bag space when I first did it, so doing it another time was frustrating. Because it's like, don't let me do the quest if I don't have enough bag space.
Just dump the other ones then.
No, I didn't have 10. I had 8 when I got the quest.
She didn't realize you upgraded your bag by donating Bugsnax. So
No,
she
I
had
did.
this
I
one.
just didn't realize I needed to do it like right away. I didn't realize that because it said you needed 1 Mega Maki. I didn't think I'd have to catch like 10 different parts of it. So for me, it's just like I just didn't know, and the game didn't say it, so it's not my fault either. But
Couldn't you like pick up a piece and then just get rid of something else in your bag, even if you were full?
no, I had 8 slots, and you need 10. So if I was full of Maki, I couldn't pick any more up.
I mean, you could have deleted the other pieces of the Maki, the mini Makis.
What do you mean delete them?
Whenever you release it, it just makes the Bugsnax disappear. Like, it doesn't, like, wander around the floor
I
anymore.
didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. Like, you just pick it up and it's like, do you want to replace this? And you go, yes, and then it's gone.
And then the pizza one, I kept getting him to fall down, but not in front of the pizza cutter. They weren't
Ow.
bad, but I felt like I was bad at them. But it's weird. So the Mega Maki one where you have to like shoot it, there was a challenge for the basketball. You know how you have to like catch it?
Yeah.
I did that. And I did it very quickly, and I was so proud of myself, and you weren't here to see it. Because you know how I'm bad at aiming? I could
No
not
picture,
believe
no
that
proof.
I did it.
Didn't happen. You didn't
Oh,
have a
I
picture.
have the achievement, actually. You can look it up. So,
I don't know. Maybe that's just Xbox making up for that one you missed a while ago.
wow.
No. But I agree. I thought the boss fights were a nice kind of change up. But so you cannot die in this game. This game, as I said, it's very easy. You can get on fire and your character, kind of becomes disabled. You just wave your arms around, which I love that animation of your arms waving around when you're on fire. But yeah, you can't die. You can freeze into a block, but you just break out of it. So doing these boss fights, the most that's kind of happening is just to frustrate you. It's like the worst they can do to you is just try to frustrate you. So yeah, with the Mega Maki, he just keeps trying to break the pillars that you need and just kind of reset your progress. And so some of those, like his fight definitely was the worst because it was just so frustrating. But as far as the other ones went, I thought the design of them were cool. Like fighting a giant daddy spider cake, I think his name was. Like
Yeah, the cake was fun.
Yeah, the Pizza Supreme I thought was pretty cool, but yeah, overall they were fine fights.
Yeah, I honestly just liked them most because they shook up the gameplay, and I wanted maybe a couple more of them. I mean, I didn't want a ton of them, but like even 1 or 2 more would have been fun. Like, and you actually do get another one on Broken Tooth, right?
Yep.
I don't remember what was the one on Broken Tooth.
The pizza board Rex or no cheese board Rex.
The charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what you said earlier about being on fire, the animation school. I couldn't, like, I don't know if you guys, could you not control him when you're on fire?
No, you can.
Because there were times I couldn't, and so he'd go right towards my like trip shot that I had set up, and I tried to move him when he wouldn't move. But I also found the game to be a little buggy, so I wasn't sure if because it didn't happen all the time. It just happened sometimes for me. Like sometimes I could turn my character, and sometimes I couldn't.
I felt like it was more like when you're drunk in Sea of Thieves. it's like you can control them, but you can't control well. And in this, I feel like when you were on fire, you couldn't move backwards. You could only go forward. So I don't know that had any impact on what you were trying to do, Liz, but those are the things that I noticed about being on fire.
Did you guys have a lot of bugs?
I had one.
Captured so many bugs, and I fed them to all the villagers.
So I see what you did there. Good one, Keith.
Yeah.
I had one. I entered a new area, and my character kept shifting to the right. But I don't know if it was a controller fault because I did restart my controller, and then it fixed itself. But it was odd that it's only happened with this game.
Well, I like that I kept going to areas I wasn't allowed to go in yet, and they would just bring me back and say, "You're not supposed to do that."
How'd you
Got a
do
little
that?
scolding. What?
How'd you do that? I don't think I had a single bug in this game. Like,
well, that I don't really consider a bug. Like I did the jump pad, and I just kept jumping until it let me go over the rock. And I knew I probably wasn't supposed to go there, but I ended up being able to. But for me, it was just like little bugs, nothing game breaking or anything. And also, like, this game has amazing autosave.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any progress, and there's like no save button. So when I first exited out, I was like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like. It's fantastic.
I always love those are your two questions whenever you start a new game. How's the save, and what happens when I die?
Well, because
Those are your two
especially
questions.
like, you start playing a game when your kid's napping, and like right when you get to a good part, they're going to wake up. It's like, can I save it?
I will say the thing that I think I most complain about the gameplay, I wish there was just more gadgets. You really kind of only you have like, what, 4 or 5 or so? In, just about every Bugsnax, it just kind of behaves the same. So it's kind of easy to figure out what tool you need to capture the Bugsnax. That's just my biggest complaint. I wanted more gadgets and things to do. Because I felt like the puzzles, once you kind of started solving one, they were all just kind of, you have the same tools and it's just easy to kind of figure out stuff.
You did eventually get to be able to use like the other bugs, like the one that had like the little tornado funnel and stuff. So I feel like that was their kind of way of adding more elements to catching or putting out different bugs. I wanted something that put out bugs, like so they weren't on fire anymore.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they weren't near water, and it's just like, I know I can find a way, but it's like
I
I'd
just
rather
don't
have
want
the tool.
to.
I'm lazy like the villagers.
well, so that's where in the gameplay, I agree. First of all, I wanted more, and I think it's one of my biggest gripes about the gameplay of Bugsnax is that it could have been so much more involved, and it could have felt, I don't know, more challenging. But it was, I don't know. Pretty much by the time I got the trip shot wire, I was like, I didn't even care about sauces. I didn't care if I really needed the trip wire. I was like, I'm just going to use it because it's easier. And so I did, and that was about the last thing you need to do. So, and I want not make sure I'm understanding. When you say like use them, Liz, do you mean like how you have to like kind of kite them around and like into another Bugsnax to get them to like attack each other almost?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like
with the air funnels and stuff.
Yeah. My example was like the air funnel to like make it so that one of them wasn't inflamed. Like, so you didn't have like an actual tool to help, but in that particular area, you could use it.
Gotcha.
That specific one.
Because, and I agree. Like I don't know. It's more to it, but that's so lazy, I think. And honestly, it's not even. I don't know, it wasn't even done well because in some cases they start interacting with each other and doing things that you don't want them to do, and it almost becomes more of a nuisance that they have these functions than anything. What I did sort of like about it, though, I will say, is that it made some of the things of catching them feel a little bit more like a puzzle. Of like, I have to kite this one from this room to this room. I have to wait till this point to stun this one so that I can get them to chase this one. And it's like, some of those things were kind of cool, but it was maybe a handful of Bugsnax, and realistically, unless you had a mission to capture one of those Bugsnax, just skip it. Who cares? You don't have to capture that one. Capture another one instead.
Well, I think something that really bothered me was like when you're trying to capture these Bugsnax, especially if you have quests for multiple, or maybe you made a mistake and accidentally killed one, you have to wait a day for them to respawn. And for me, it's just like, I don't understand why you just didn't have more, or like, because for me, I'd either like go to sleep, which is an option, or like do other stuff. But I just wish that there were more Bugsnax. I don't want to have to wait for them to respawn.
You could
I
easily
know that's
just
like Finny.
you could easily fast travel to another area and back, and as soon as you came back into the area, it would respawn time or not.
No, not all. No,
It was time based. It wasn't
Yeah.
about like
Really?
loading. Yeah.
I could have sworn there was times I'd reloaded areas, but
I
could
think
be
in the first areas, the first two, like they actually did respawn in the Garden Grove, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then
that's what I'm
the other
thinking.
one. Yeah, because I agree with you, Keith. Like I definitely think it happened in the beginning, but then the later ones, like when there's only one or two of that specific Bugsnax, that's when it wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I actually think there was plenty of them, like, because at the end of the day, usually I would, and maybe this is why I didn't notice it. Like if I accidentally killed one or something, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go and do this other side mission over here, and so I wouldn't even think to like worry about it respawning. I would just give up and come back to it later. But because I don't know, there was with like over 100 of them. There's only, I think, probably what 10, 20 reskins. Largely, they're all pretty unique, actually.
Yeah. There's some reskins, yeah, but if
Yeah, the crapples and
the peel bugs, had 4 different colors. But I mean, it makes sense. A lemon, lime, a cherry, and I forget what the other one was.
yeah,
I forget what color it
exactly.
was.
Like they almost made sense when they did the reskins.
Yeah.
So,
Taco roach, as a Baja taco roach, who's a fish taco, and then like a regular one. Yeah, so like the reskins made sense. But yeah, I agree. There wasn't too many reskins. I loved the designs of the Bugsnax. I thought they were really creative. I loved the names of them. Like they were just cool. Like that's what I enjoyed about this game. It was just cool to see these Bugsnax and collect them and like hear their voices and dialogues. I thought the Bugsnax just really drove me.
I like the emojis. Like if they kind of got the best of you, they'd stick out their tongue.
Yeah.
And same with like that's why I felt bad with like the Strabbies, like when they were running scared, I didn't like that one. And they'd hide in the bushes. But the aggressive ones, like some of them were just so aggressive. I was just like, I can't wait to catch you.
Can't wait to eat you.
But the environments were kind of, I mean, they were very different from each other, but like it's the same with like the Bugsnax. There really wasn't a lot going on in the different areas. Like you're not going to be like running through trees kind of thing. Or, I mean, I feel like the beach is kind of the more complex one.
Yeah, the environments were very generic,
Yeah.
but they were like, what you saw, what you got. There wasn't any gameplay element really with them, which is kind of surprising. Like when I went to the Snow Peak Mountain and it's like snowing, I'm like, oh man, maybe you have to deal with like a cold meter or something like that. It's just
People
what you
freeze
see,
you
what you
more.
got.
no, and if anything, the bugs that froze you are so annoying.
Oh yeah, I'd rather be set on fire than frozen. The ones that froze you always just irritated me.
Yeah, agreed.
But did you guys have a favorite bug snack?
I was trying to think about that.
Like I said, Scoopy Banoopy.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
I always said Scoopy Banoopy.
I think it was the Noodler.
Noodler's pretty funny.
Noodler. Noodler.
There was one that really irritated me. I don't remember what it was, but there was
Megamaki.
no, it
Oh, I
wasn't
hated
that.
the
But
Megamaki.
I mean, I like the Strabby that was in the ball that would help you.
Yeah.
He was quite a helper.
But since this game came on Game Pass, this game was originally a PlayStation exclusive. They came out with a free DLC of Isle of Bugsnax. Did you guys try that at all?
No, I didn't know
I
that
didn't.
was a
I didn't
thing.
realize that was a thing.
Oh, I thought you did because you talked about the fifth boss. That was the cheese board.
Are you
Rex.
talking about Broken Tooth Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I did. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Isle of Bugsnax.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I did.
The island with very big snacks.
I guess, yeah. I mean, in retrospect, that really makes a ton of sense now that you're saying it back to me. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't think of it as DLC because it was just all part of like the main 1,000 gamer score.
Yeah, I think there's 3 DLCs that happened. The other 2 were pretty small. I'm assuming these were DLCs because the achievements were colored differently. They were purple. So there was one to get 10 hats. That was another achievement that, there was a billboard on the barn that would show a picture of an part of the island where you would find a hidden bug snack that would have a funky hat. And if you captured them, you would get the hat. So it was an achievement to get 10 hats.
Was there like story elements in the DLC, or was it just?
There wasn't the Isle of Bugsnax. So the Isle of Bugsnax really focuses around the relationship of Chandlo and was his name Snoopy? Snorpy?
Something like that.
Snorpy, I think. Snorpington.
Uh,
but everyone calls him
yeah.
Snorpy.
But yeah, it focused a lot on his relationship. It gave a little more retrospective of Shelda, the old Grumpus.
The one that was like talking riddles.
Yeah, which
She was annoying.
no, she actually was great in the DLC though, because
Yeah.
she talks like naturally, and she actually like kind of loses her faith a little bit, and she's actually pretty funny and comical.
That's nice because I really didn't see much of like that I liked in her character in like the regular game. So
Yeah.
that's actually kind of nice to know.
But I was a little disappointed in the Isle of Big Snacks because I remember seeing the trailer for it, and they're like, oh, you know, since these creatures are big, you got to get a little more creative. The only thing you got to be creative with is you grab a jar of shrinking powder and shrink them down, and then you capture them regularly.
With a
So it was
tripwire.
like, yeah,
All
and
of
it was
them
just
were just a tripwire, basically.
so I was kind of disappointed in that. I was like, oh, but I love, you know, they have a handful of a couple new ones,
Oh, the Selly sticks.
or the pastaroni.
You know what I think it is, Andrew? I think Isle of Big Snacks is why there's more than 100 and why I got the achievement.
It is possible. I will
think-
say, I think the boss in Isle of Big Snacks was the best.
The charcuterie board.
Yeah, I thought he was probably the most dynamic and honestly coolest design.
Yeah, there was multiple phases to it in the aspect of like how, you know, the rolling the ball up the, or, you know, where he throws the meatballs up the wall, and like, I don't know. I definitely thought he was the most interesting, or she, or it, or they. It's a charcuterie board. I don't know if that is a gender. But that big old snack definitely was probably the most fun one to fight.
I just want to say I'm really proud of Keith because, I mean, I feel like you're remembering the names better than us, and you're the one that doesn't really like story, so you were like really paying attention.
I'm actually generally pretty good about remembering names in video games, though. Even though if I don't care about the characters, it's a weird thing I do in games.
Do you know what? I tried to give you a compliment, Keith.
I appreciate it, and
was
compliment accepted for sure, especially coming from you, Liz. But I just it's a weird skill I have, because ask me to remember someone's name in real life. Good luck.
Oh my god, that's my biggest like honestly my biggest fear. I literally will work with someone for years, and like I'll know them. But it's always my biggest fear that for whatever reason I'm going to slip up and give him the wrong name.
Because you definitely do think that somebody's name is the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because for instance, like he works in healthcare, and we move around a lot, and so he'll go to a new hospital and he has to remember everybody's name, but it's easy for everybody to remember one guy.
Yeah, so constantly people are like, hey, Andrew, and I'm like, hey, you.
So and so.
I always say things. I always just say, hey, you a lot. And even though I perfectly know who that person's name is, but I'm like, I'm going to screw it up and I'm going to look like the biggest tool. So you know what? I'm going to avoid this awkward moment and just say, hey, you.
But like, how do teachers do it?
I don't know.
Because they have so many different classes, and
That's why they do attendance at the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had teachers that remember everybody's name, and it's just like you have so many students, and it's for like half of a school year, and then you get all new students, and it's just like, I don't know how they do it. They have special powers.
I think the
Teachers
best
do.
I can say is I think with video games is I see it written out a lot, so I remember it more. So maybe like the association of seeing a name written out helps. I don't know.
That's true. I mean, it also helps too that they're constantly repeating their names too.
They're like, Billy, shut it.
But I have another thing I found perplexing about the story that kind of made me a little confused. At the very end of the game, when you're on the beach,
Yeah.
did any of you guys catch what was
everyone's
kind
fine?
of odd? No, not just that. You see Snacktooth Island from the beach, and when you leave the beach, you're right at the city. This whole point of this game was that this, Lizbert found this mysterious island that no one could see. You literally could see it from the
Oh,
beach.
yeah.
And I was like, how is this a mystery? You see it right there.
And also, did they quarantine? Because Philbo did. Because I think he said that he was going to stay with...
No, but you see that it all wears off on people.
So they just
Oh, wait, that's a spoiler.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not really.
yeah, I mean they change, and they can change back over time. We're not explaining why they change back.
Yeah. No, it's not really a spoiler because you don't... Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always give away spoilers.
Oh, we know.
And I was
I
like, I was
bleeped you out
ready for
so
you
much
to
on the Mass
to
Effect
scold
episode.
me.
Oh, it was very jarring the first time. You used a weird sound.
Yeah.
It threw me off.
I can't generate just a basic beep. I don't know why. I've tried so many different ways. Instead of create a weird dial tone noise.
It's like a weird Morse code.
Yep. But
Morse code. Speaking of music and sound effects.
Nice, Liz.
The voice acting, I think, is fantastic in this game. I love the voice acting.
And they actually sounded like a lot of actors. Like, I thought, what was it, Kramoto? Is that his name? He sounded like Danny DeVito. I just felt like there was a bunch that actually... And then Philbo sounded like the guy from 30 Rock, the blonde, like the really sweet guy.
French Stewart?
His name was Kenneth from 30 Rock. I always forget that actor's name.
Oh, 30 Rock. I was thinking Third Rock from the Sun.
But I felt like every single voice was really unique, and it felt like it fit the character. And a lot of them, I looked up on IMDb. I'm like, is it this guy? And I think it, like 10 out of 10.
Well, not just that, even the Bugsnax. Like the Bugsnax.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the end of the credits, there's literally like 10 people. And, there's over 100 Bugsnax. There's people who are doing multiple different Bugsnax. And like, I would not picture a lot of people having the same voice for these.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one well-known name in there. Fred Tatasciore. He did both the Psychonauts games as well as a bunch of other games we've played. He's like a big voice actor in general, if you look at him. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of games we've played. But I think he's the only really quote unquote big name.
But yeah, overall though, I was impressed with the sound quality of this game. Yeah, I thought the Bugsnax were adorable because since the Bugsnax are constantly saying their name, it obviously is a way for you to hunt them. So it's easy to kind of, if you can just hear them calling out. But yeah, I thought the dialogue that was going on was really impressive, especially too, like as Liz said, you can kind of skip some of the dialogue. And even when you're skipping the dialogue, the conversation doesn't feel or sound jarring. Yeah. Like it actually still flows really well. So I was actually really impressed with the voice acting in this game.
Well, because it does a pretty good job of keeping their dialogue segments short, at least in those like skippable moments. So if you skip, you either don't lose a ton, or it almost like lets them finish talking, but it skips the text, and they keep talking, like say their full text still, is what I think it does. But either way, I do agree. It's not a lot of sharp cuts and weird dialogue breaks because you're going too fast or other things. I don't get, is there any consequence to changing any of your selections? Because I feel like there's a few times where you can decide what you want to say, but
I'm pretty sure no. I think this is another game that your choicing of the dialogue has no effect.
I thought so. I was pretty confident that it had no effect, but I didn't think so. I actually did like that kind of final mission too, where it was almost like a little puzzle of like you had to like shift around who was talking to who, and like I don't know if maybe that changes based on how you get to that mission, but I thought that was kind of cool. But that's just
the final party.
Yeah.
But no, I'm pretty sure dialogue has no consequences because I remember Liz got to the end before me, and she asked the character a question, and they got mad, saying, "You really want to interview me right now?" And I did a different choice, but they said the same response. Oh, so I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "So I guess it doesn't really matter."
I also really like that at the end when like everyone's kind of rallying together and they're separating into teams. It was always people that like were butting heads. Well, not always, but always. Like for instance, like Beffica and
Cromdo.
Yeah, him. But it was always. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was like the husband and wife as well. But I just thought it was interesting that a lot of the people that were butting heads were teamed up together.
Yeah,
for the most part. Well, and actually, Beffica and Philbo didn't like each other either. Well, Philbo liked everybody.
Beffica didn't like anyone.
No, Beffica was just being mean.
Yeah, she picks on Philbo.
I didn't understand her purpose. She was probably my least favorite character because I'm like, why are you here?
I always thought she was like a wannabe reporter for the town, like a Star Tribune type of reporter.
Well, yeah, she said she worked. Well, not TMZ, it was GMZ.
Oh, that's right.
Grumpus.
That's
yeah, she was a tabloid reporter before.
But she wants friends. Like she left because of something that happened with her friends.
Yeah, she literally dug up all her friends' dirt and shoved it in their faces, and they didn't want to be friends with her.
Even with Chandlo, what she did, where she would pretend to be Chandlo to try to get dirt about Chandlo, that was wrong.
I know, but Chandlo was perfect.
I mean, this game has some questionable moments, like. Grimble or Gramble, whatever he is, he doesn't want to eat Bugsnax, but you just feed him Bugsnax whenever, including when he's asleep.
I didn't do that. You did that?
Yeah, it's an achievement. Of course I did it.
Oh, come on. That is...
I mean, I
just... Here's Liz. Here's Liz on her high horse here. Liz gets to be on the high horse.
I do, because I had the option to do that, and I didn't do it.
Well, I did it for the achievement, so you know I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not the bad guy this episode.
Apparently not.
Which, looking at achievements,
for Liz.
Andrew, you 1,000'd it.
Yep.
Keith, last I saw, 900. And then me, I had 320. I could have gotten way more. I put so many hours into this, like more than it says that you should.
It's like, please do not exceed these hours. And you're
Yeah.
like, screw you, game.
Yeah. And I got to like, I definitely could have gotten way more achievements. But yeah, it was just like the final couple hours that I played that are just like, let's get through this.
Yeah, you literally are like one side quest away from
Yeah.
like doing all the side quests.
And I was at the end, they ask you if you want to go back, which is nice. You have that option. I said no. But it's like, I did
Wanna
like
keep
the
playing?
game.
No.
Thanks for asking, but no.
Oh my goodness, we didn't even mention the woman that had like the Wisconsin accent.
Triffany.
Oh my word. Like I need to go there. I remember once we were in Manchester and this family, like the woman, the mom came up and was asking us questions and I almost died. Her accent was so cute. Do you remember that, Keith?
Was I with you guys?
Yeah, it was in Manchester. We went to your place.
I mean, I don't even mean this in a mean way. I feel like that was like one time, so I feel like I should remember, but I don't.
Wait, we went to visit you loads of times to go to that game,
Boards
that
and
board
Brews.
game.
Sure, we did go up there a couple times. All right,
We
like
went
I
up
said,
there like at least 5 times.
Yeah,
So we're
wow.
just
Rude,
very
Keith.
forgettable.
It was not. I didn't even mean that. And like, well, you guys never visited me. I was just,
Oh, you visited us because I remember I embarrassed myself. It was one of the first times I met you. I see the future.
I don't even know if I remember that.
Oh
were
no,
playing-
because we're playing a board game and I
Exploding
just got a little
Kittens.
too comfortable.
You know, it's how you know you're in the presence of good people.
But
Just feel
that's
comfortable
why,
being yourself.
yeah, that's why I remembered that you visited us because I was just like, oh wow.
I'm like, well, that's the thing I did tonight.
But yeah, I mean, it just goes back to what I say. Like, I think the voice acting is fantastic in this game. But yeah, as Liz said for the achievements, though, I 100% recommend this game for achievement hunters. Now, Liz, I actually do agree with you. I actually was getting tired of this game at the very end, too. So I did all the side quests, and I was ready to kind of finish. But then I saw that there's an achievement to go and beat the island of Bugsnax. And I really didn't want to. I was like, I just want to end this game. But I did it because I got 1,000 this game. And yeah, the island of Bugsnax, it, like I said, didn't change too much, but just that DLC alone is like 2 to 3 hours long, not too crazy long. Overall, for playing Bugsnax, it's not a crazy long game. You're looking between, honestly, 10 to 13 hours. I think I did 15 hours to 1,000 it.
I did more than that.
Yeah.
I did
Oh, yeah. You were at
1,000.
like 20 something hours.
No, I think it was like 17
Oh.
or something.
But oh yeah, actually, I think my playtime says like 80 hours, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Bugsnax isn't a very long game. It's a nice, simple game. You can kind of just sit down and play over the weekend. Because, as I said, it's not very difficult. But yeah, as far as achievements go, like I don't think any are missable from what I remember. The only one that's kind of missable is at the very end. There's a secret achievement that everyone survives, but if you fail, you can restart and go back and load a previous save. But yeah, so overall it's pretty easy. But yeah, let's get into our final thoughts here. Liz? Nope. I forgot. I don't know why. So for me, as I said, I enjoyed Bugsnax a lot. It was a game. It's very simple, but the simplicity of it is what kind of dragged it down near the end. You know, I enjoyed finding these really interesting Bugsnax. I thought that the designs were great. I enjoyed the characters. I thought the characters were well written and good voice acting. But I thought there were some story elements that got a little tiresome, and I wanted to know more about the island of the history that I felt like they were teasing and kind of giving you answers, but don't quite give you answers. That kind of made me sad. But overall, though, it's a very enjoyable experience. You know, you don't have to spend a ton of time with it. To me, this game's a good 86.
Yeah, so I was excited for this game because I remember when it came on E3 and it was like a big, oh man, this is a really cool game. It's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. It's, you know, one of those things that maybe you're actually bummed out. You don't have that coming to PlayStation, Xbox, but then it did. It was coming to Game Pass. I thought this is going to be really cool. And while I wasn't upset by the game, and again, I didn't have a ton of issues with it. I just found myself so disappointed with it, and I thought it was going to be so much more than just kind of like Andrew said, almost like a glorified Pokemon Snap. And I think I just found myself so let down by what I was expecting it to be and what it ultimately was. There's nothing really wrong with it as a whole. It's simple, it's relaxing. But I don't, outside of really the achievements, I can't see a lot of reasons I would recommend this to someone other than, and it's weird, I think maybe for kids, because it's very cute. You can't die. They can just run around and do whatever they want. Whether or not they actually complete something, they're probably going to have fun with the game. So I think there's something there. I think as a whole, I think I give it like a 76.
So I was originally going to give it an 80, but I kind of like talked myself down to 78. But then I was like, 78 is really close to 76. I feel like I liked it more than Keith. So
I love how Liz always wants to go last, and she just can't because...
Yeah.
I know. Because I didn't know what to score.
Just go with what you
I'm
had.
going to give it a 79 in between those two scores.
Okay.
And looking at Metacritic, it's TBD for Xbox One and Series X. And Xbox One, no reviews. Series X, there's 2 critics, a 70 and a 63. And one of the critics who, they're the one that gave it a 63, said that it was too linear and predictable for more seasoned gamers. And they were talking about how it's more for like a younger audience or a casual gamer, which I guess I kind of agree with. Although, Andrew, you're a hardcore gamer and you liked it, so.
Yeah, I did.
And then users 5.6. Not
Wow.
doing too well, yeah.
See, I think if this game had more city management aspects and more tools,
Yes,
I think this game would have been a lot better.
I agree.
So, would you guys want a sequel?
I think so. And it's weird to say. And honestly, because I agree with you, Andrew. I kind of want to find out more about the history of Bugsnax, like especially with the end. And I don't know, again, if we're going to talk any spoilers or not. But with everything you actually find out about the Bugsnax as they are, I actually would like to find out, like, where did they come from? Why are they the thing they are? Why? There's so many whys that I actually would be interested to find out about, and then maybe they could use that opportunity to make the game. Like, here's a perfect thing, I feel like, especially games are doing this now with their like accessibility options. Give me a challenge mode where I can be hurt, where I can lose my life, lose a life, lose my Bugsnax. Have challenges built into the game beyond just a few simple puzzles. And then have the mode, the normal mode like they have, because there's nothing wrong with it, but I just want it to be a little more challenging, personally.
Yeah, same here. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. So thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any game suggestions, please let us know. You can email us at gamepassgraphic@gmail.com or Facebook or Twitter at GBGBpod. And if you are listening on Spotify or Apple or wherever, please give us a review. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to get feedback. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952.
I've been Keith. Bugsnax, and Andrew gets to use the edit button tonight.
And I'm Liz the Noob, gamer tag TomandOmD, and I'm on Twitter at LizNoobNoobAZW, and I need to go on Twitter more because I've been slacking. Sorry.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.